guys, welcome to Big Sister. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I hope you guys are doing well in school, wherever you are. I just want to say hi. So guys, I want to talk with you about something today, and it's going to be feminine hygiene. I'm actually also going to put up a little diagram that I drew. It is not my best diagram, guys, but it is something that I think it is very important, and we're going to talk about it, okay? So first of all, women, young girls, whoever my audience is today, I want you to know, number one, it is not the norm to have a strong fishy odor. There's some women who may believe it's normal to just be fishy. It's normal to just have a smell. No, you do not have to have a smell. You can absolutely smell like water. All right. There are times, yes, you may have sweat, stuff like that. But to have a high fishy odor, it is a sign of poor feminine hygiene, as well as you may have some sort of infection and things going on, and over accumulation of bacteria. There's bacteria in our body, and there's bacteria that we need. It's good, fights off things, infections, etc. It's supposed to be there, but sometimes when there is an imbalance in the body, they can create more than they should, or something happens where it just gets, there's so much, it gets to be fishy. And when that happens, normally you can just, shower, bathe, change a few things. But when we are the things that I'm going to be talking to you about today, if none of those things work and you're still smelly, then there may be something else going on that you have to go see a doctor, and you need to get some antibiotics, okay? Now, as I said, fishy is not normal, okay? Now, ladies, a sign that you may have some hygiene issues is if you go to the bathroom, if there is a strong fishy odor, when someone goes into the restroom or goes after you in the stalls at school, that whole stall begins to get a strong smell, where you even smell it when you leave the stall, and someone goes in after you and they be like, oh my gosh, and they don't want to go in after you. Or someone in the opposite stalls can smell the odor from you coming over, and they be like, oh my gosh, what's that smell? You have poor feminine hygiene. If when you use the bathroom at home and your brothers or your sister, whoever goes in after you, they're like, oh my gosh, and you did not do a number two and you just peed, you have poor feminine hygiene. When you sit down and if you smell a strong odor that comes up, if you sit on something and if you put a pillow or cushion on top of your legs or right between your legs, and that cushion smells fishy, you have poor feminine hygiene. And so that means either you're not washing yourself properly, something is up, okay? So I'm going to be showing you guys this diagram. If you want to take a look at it, I should be inserting it just about now inside this video. And what I want you to look at is my not so great diagram of the female vagina, okay? So to me, it looks like a little almond, okay? And what you want to notice here is you're going to notice there are several layers. There's the outer house. If you look to the right, you'll see the outer house, okay? Which is kind of what you see when you look down. There's an outer house. But if you were to look further, there's an inner house. If you see my diagram, you're going to see the word inner house. You see where the arrow is pointing. You have another small little house within that house, okay? And at the very top of that, if you look over to the left of this, it will be, when I say right, it will be your left. When I say right, it will be your left, depending on how it comes up on this picture, on the video, okay? Because everything is normally opposite. But look where it says outer house and where the arrow is pointing, where it says inner house and the arrow is pointing, okay? And then you're going to see that little inner house, you're going to also have this little opening right on the top of that, okay? You're going to call it like the little hat. And if you look over, you're going to see urination. You're going to see a little circle in the word urination with an arrow pointing to it. And that is the little hole that you pee out of. That's where you urinate, okay? Now, ignore all the other things for now. You go down, you're going to see, you see where we had the urination and that little tiny hole in the top? Well, go straight down. You're going to see another opening down there, okay? And you're going to, that is where two things happen. I have two arrows going there, okay? One, you see intercourse, and you see childbirth. That is what that whole functions as. For intercourse, that means sex, and childbirth, that's where you deliver babies. Okay, that's what that hole does. So when you're showering and you're washing, you don't need to be putting any soap inside of that hole. You will get infections, it will burn, it will hurt. Nothing needs to go in there. But the areas that you want to make sure that you're cleaning is those, you see the outer house, you want to wash the outside of the outer house, but you want to also get that washcloth and get right in between the outer house and the inner house. Do you see where I have that sign that says, I have the letterings that says clean here on both sides? Okay, it means you need to be scrubbing, not scrubbing because it's very tender there, but you want to clean, cleanse, go back and forth in that area of the outer house on both sides. And then the inner house, you just want to be gentle with it because the layers of the inner house is even more sensitive. So you don't want to be down there scrubbing with a scrubber. You want to gently just clean that area off, okay? You do not need to be putting soap inside of the childbirth and intercourse hole that you're going to see. But all that area, you see the arrows going up and down for the outer house. You want to clean that flap and take your time and gently circle around the inner house, guys. And then what you want to do is make sure, looking at my picture, guys, it's not the best, but as you know where the intercourse and the childbirth hole is, if you go down further back, and if you need to just get a mirror and look down and see what you have, okay? You want to clean, you never want to clean from the back to the front. You never want to be scrubbing your butt and then bring the soap from the butt to the front, because you don't want to do that. You're always going to go front and back. You never want to use the same side that you've used to scrub your butt to scrub your vagina, unless you've really rinsed it out. And to me, maybe even consider having a separate washcloth just for your vagina. But okay, if you can't, just make sure wash your vagina first. It's 2 or 3 times, and then go and get the back area, but never bring the back to the front. Okay, front to back, you could do that because it's just what the bacteria that you have in your vagina is completely nothing compared to what's in the rectum and the bottom. Okay, because fecal matter, all that stuff comes from there, so it's just not good to bring to the front. So a lot of times, guys, you just need to wash. I would tell you, get a mirror, look down there at yourself so you can see what I'm talking about. You have your outer house, which is what you see right on the top, you see in the front. Then if you just gently open that, gently, not hard, you're going to see that inner house. You're going to see where you urinate, all of that. And then you have a tiny hole at the very bottom for childbirth and intercourse, okay? One of the reasons why you can be having feminine odor is because maybe you're just letting the water go down, you wash, but you barely wash your vagina properly, okay? So what will happen is that layer that's between the outer and the inner house can be accumulating dirt, and then when you look, there's like this stuff in there that's just dirt and sweat that's accumulated, and it can be thick, it can be creamy because it's not being cleaned properly. So you want to get in there and get that stuff out of there, okay? Now, you may be cleaning yourself and you're having problems. Well, again, you want to make sure that when you use the bathroom and you do your number 2, which will be to defecate, means to poo. You want to make sure you're not wiping from the back to the front, that when you wipe yourself, you're not wiping the poop from your bottom and bringing it to the front, because that will cause odors. All right. Other things is, I say, hey, I'm cleaning myself, I still have a smell. Well, ladies, the reason why that can happen is it could be that you are not changing your underwears. You may shower, you may clean, but you put on dirty underwears again. So you want to make sure you put on fresh underwears. You want to make sure you put on clean underwears. You change your underwears, because that the odors of sweat and all of that, you may have showered, but you defeat the purpose if you put on dirty underwears. All right. The other thing that could be happening if you are having sex, which in my book, if you're not married and if you are underage, you should not be having sex. Okay. You can take that or leave it. But I understand that people may be doing that. Well, what can happen is if you are having intercourse and you are allowing that man to ejaculate inside of you, which meaning he is what you guys say come, but it's the release of sperm. What can happen is that sperm, as it swims up within you, it could just linger in your vagina. And then what's going to happen is it's going to start to stink. It's going to start to smell bad. And some of you may be married, okay, and you're having sex. Well, what's happening is you're having intercourse and the sperm is just within you, and the sperm sits there, starts to leak out or whatever, and you're going to have an odor. You're going to have a smell. Now, other times, none of those things are happening. Sometimes as women, we simply just produce more bacteria than we should. Why it happens, there could be so many things. It could be something you ate, diet, underwears that you're wearing, all types of different things. But when that happens, you get that odor, you know that you're cleaning yourself, you're taking care of yourself. Then the next thing you may need to do is go see the doctor, who is going to be able to tell you what's happening. Now, a lot of times if you're a virgin, you're probably not going to have these type of problems, because even as a virgin, the doctor can't really put anything in you because you're a virgin. Okay. But those can be some of the things that's going on. And if it's an over accumulation of bacteria, your pH balance is off, then you're going to go to the doctor. They're going to give you something, and it's going to pretty much knock out the odors immediately. But you may still want to keep taking the antibiotics, even though you want to take it to it's complete. So if he gives you some for 7 to 10 days, even though day 1, day 2, day 3, it may already, the odor's gone, take your medication all the way until it's complete. That's how antibiotic works. The other thing I would say, sometimes suggestion, you may need to wear panty liners. Now, this is something I would say take it with a grain of salt, because it may be different, because maybe panty liners for young women, it can cause you to get a yeast infection or something like that. So it just depends on your body and how it's sensitive. If your body's okay with having a panty liner. And what is a panty liner? It is like a pad, but it's not a pad. It's much thinner. And what you do is you just put it right in the very center of your panties. So it would be like the crotch of the underwears. They have a bunch. They're thin. They're small. You can place it down there. And what that does, it collects all your moisture throughout the day. Okay. And what you do is you change it several times a day. You don't want to sit in that all day. Okay. Which is the same thing as a period. And we'll talk about how some people have a period and they wear one pad the whole time. I'll do another video on that, on why that's not good. But in this case, we talk about the panty liner. And the panty liner, what it will do, you just put it in the center of your underwears. And what it will do is just collect all the moisture. And I would say you always need to have extra. So you may end up changing about 4 or 5 times throughout the day. You don't have to change this very second you just see a little moisture, but you can look at your panty liners and tell. You don't want it to get you just don't want to get too wet, because then you can get a yeast infection if you're just sitting in moisture. Okay, what the panty liner does, it gets the sweat and all that stuff, and it absorbs it. It keeps your underwears from being stained, and it helps and to promote feminine hygiene. Okay, by decreasing moisture levels, bacteria levels, and you're peeing all day and then you're sitting in your own moisture and then creating odors. So guys, I hope this video helped you. What can you use to wash yourself? You don't have to be using high perfumed items. I would not suggest using soaps that smell sweet, too sweet, using it down there. People tell you just to use water. You can try this using water. Just clean your body down there with water. That shouldn't be a problem. Other times you can use something like Vagisil. Vagisil is a feminine wash that is just gentle. I would not go into getting peach and cherry fragrances. Just get the regular ones, which is like vinegar and water. And what you do, you just wash down there, and it really helps with that. Or use a very, 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 very mild soap like Dove. All right. And you want to, when you're washing yourself, ladies, down there, after you're done, you have to make sure you're washing your bottom. Okay, not just the outer cheeks. You need to wash in between your butt, because sometimes that odor is not coming from your vagina. It's coming from your butt because you're not cleaning it. Okay, so make sure you're washing your body properly. You're taking care of yourself. Sometimes young ladies are afraid to look because they're scared, you know, depending on the household you've grown up in. Maybe you grew up in a family, they're telling you, hey, don't you dare touch down there. I'm not going to tell you to override mom or dad. But all I would tell you, this is not a matter of you doing anything pervy. It's feminine hygiene. So as you're able, you may need to, if you don't want to look at yourself, then this diagram will help you, or you may see something else. Look at a medical diagram. You'll see how you're made, and just clean your body, take care of yourself. Do not manipulate your body. You don't want to do anything sexual and trying to create any sort of sexual feelings. That is not what this is about. You don't want to just look at your vagina as, oh, it's for sex. So if I'm looking, I'm doing something nasty. If I'm cleaning myself, if I'm touching down there and cleaning, I'm doing something sexual. No, it is hygiene. You need to clean your body. You need to take care of your body, because you need to be clean. You need to be clean. It is not normal to be fishy. It's not normal to smell like fish. Okay, so this video took longer than I anticipated. I hope all the advice that I've given to you, it helps you. And guys, what we'll do, if you have questions, you can reach out to me, or you can just put stuff in the chat below. All right, so thank you for watching, Big Sister. Don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.